Bouchard's pass didn't click with Draisaitl. 12 seconds to go. Florida trying to end it up against the wall, which would be fitting. 3 seconds to go. The Florida Panthers have won the Stanley Cup. For the first time in their 30-year history, the Florida Panthers are Stanley Cup champions. They made it about as hard on themselves as they possibly could, battling a valiant Edmonton team that had rallied from adversity all season long. And Paul Maurice, coaching life 30 years in the National Hockey League, has his Stanley Cup.
What the puck is going on?
Here's your host of What the Puck is Going On, Dave Metzger.
All right, good evening. Welcome back in to What the Puck is Going On, deep in broadcasting's coverage of the NHL. We're back at it again, 1 week from yesterday, as we always do. We're going to talk a little hockey. We have a 3-game slate tonight. So
as always on a Monday?
As always on a Monday, so, figure this one to be short and sweet, but we will get the updated standings. We'll talk about the 3 games. Only one of them, in my eyes, is probably a game worth watching. We'll see what you think when we get there, Steve. And then maybe we'll quickly touch on some of the games of interest tomorrow as, if we could get a slate like that on a Monday, we'd really be filling some content.
I think we do next week, actually.
Oh, do we have a nice Monday next week?
I believe so.
All right, we'll have to look into that, but we'll get a bunch of games going on then. So, Steve, let's jump right into the standings here. We'll update on that. Toronto. We'll start in the Atlantic, as usual. Toronto leading this division with 56 points. Florida a close second with 53. And then there's Tampa Bay kind of catapulting themselves back into the top 3 with 49 points. Then as follows, Boston, Ottawa, Detroit, Montreal, and Buffalo. Montreal, hot as of late, but still back there towards the bottom of this division. Now they only are about 5 points off Tampa Bay. So in the grand scheme of things, that's not exactly huge, but you got to figure they're going to start wanting to start winning some games here. Most of these teams here in the Atlantic, besides I think 2 of them, which would be Boston and Ottawa right now, playing over 500 hockey. So, Steve, the Atlantic Division, any surprises? I like the surprise of Tampa Bay kind of getting themselves back in a good spot.
Everyone was basically on some sort of a streak last week at this time. All of that has chilled out for the most part. Everyone is about 500 in their last 10, give or take a game. Boston, though, is one of those teams regressing a little bit in their last 10. And then how about Detroit? They won 7 in a row now. So they gain a lot of points. They now have 44. If they can just string some more wins together, that puts them right back in the mix.
Right, yep. And, obviously there's still plenty of time where most teams are either a little over or exactly at the halfway point of the season. But so, Steve, with that being said, though, you're going to want to get the wheels rolling because the second half of the season, goes by in a blink of an eye. Into the Metro we go with Washington leading this division. That's our Capitals. 61 points. The New Jersey Devils with 56. So we have a little bit of a gap there. Carolina in your third spot with 55. Then as follows, Columbus, Pittsburgh, the New York Rangers, the New York Islanders, and there goes Philly. They have slid down to the bottom here. Steve, I like the fact here, and a bit of a surprise that Columbus is actually in a playoff spot at the moment. What do you make of the always tough Metro?
Yeah, Blue Jackets, they've been hot. That's a team that I've actually been, when I do play the hockey, I take a look at the Blue Jackets team goals. They've been a dead over team here, only a -2 puck differential, but red hot in the last 10. Winners of 4 in a row here, and they're making a little noise. They're trying to peel away from the rest of the bottom of that division and, prevent teams like the Rangers and the Penguins from jumping back over them. So you got to give all the credit in the world to the Blue Jackets, especially how that franchise had to deal with the tragedy over the summer. But what stands out to me is our Capitals. I mean, they are now 5 points clear up in the Eastern Conference with the number 1 seed overall. So great job for them. Even though they are 500 in the last 10, they've still gotten 3 points out of overtime. And that's really been the difference in them getting some separation here.
Right. You lose the game, but you still get a point out of it. So it takes some of the sting away, you could say. So interesting stuff there. Definitely worth keeping an eye on. Steve, let's jump into the West. We're heading to the Central. Winnipeg leading this division with 61 points. There's Minnesota behind them in second with 58. I feel like they've closed that gap a little bit. Dallas in the third spot with 55. Then as follows, Colorado in fourth, St. Louis in fifth, then Utah, Nashville, and Chicago. Steve, is this kind of the way we left it last week? I mean, maybe a little bit of swapping between 1 or 2 teams here, but the Central kind of more the same.
It's been basically the same, Dave, but maybe even a little bit worse. I mean, you have the top half literally pulling away from the bottom half here. They're getting further and further apart, it seems like, each week. I mean, in the last 10, Winnipeg 6-2-2, Minnesota 7-3, Dallas 8-1-1, Avalanche 7-2-1. The bottom half of their last 10, St. Louis 5-4-1, Utah 2-6-2, Predators 4-5-1, and the Blackhawks 2-8. So that is separation happening right in front of our eyes. And these are the 4 teams we expected to kind of be up there towards the top. Winnipeg has these teams on their heels. They haven't quite run away with things like we thought they might. And nipping at the ankles are the Wild. Sometimes they slump a little bit. They kind of get right back into their groove again. You got to give them credit. They're having a fine season. And Dallas just really seems to be about the same way. They've gotten very stingy. They don't give up any goals at all now. So they've got things short up there between the pipes. And this should be a interesting last half of the season or so. What do we got? 44 games played. So we were just over the halfway mark. Some of these teams with 44, some with 42, others with 45 or 41, or I even see the Kings out there with just 40 games played. But separation, Dave, that's what I see here.
Yep, you're absolutely right. Some of these teams are they're going to be hoping for a wild card spot at best here soon. Seems like they're in the Central. In the Pacific, Vegas still leading this division with 61 points. Edmonton clawing their way up. They have 55. LA in third with 53. So a tight bunch there between Edmonton and LA. Vegas kind of, pulling away. Vancouver in fourth. Calgary, Anaheim, Seattle, and New Jersey. And how about that, Steve? Seattle has fallen almost to the basement of this division. That's not quite where they were last time we checked in. So things not going very well there in Seattle. What's your take here on the Pacific?
Seattle's been a team where I've picked on them regularly, and they haven't disappointed. I should say that. There seem to be a couple of layups here in the NHL this season. One of those is going against Seattle, taking team goals against them. Another one being our Capitals, of course. But this looks looks like a lot like the Central here. Just the top three teams here pulling away from the rest of the pack. Vancouver's trying to hold on there, but they're 3-3-4 in their last 10, and much like the Capitals, benefiting on some points in overtime that are keeping them relevant. But one of these teams is going to have to make the playoffs, Dave, talking about Vancouver or Calgary or even St. Louis or Utah if they can get hot, even Anaheim if they can somehow get hot within playoff striking distance here. So I think we have our declared 7 teams that we'll see in the playoffs, and then we'll have the rest of this small batch of teams playing out for the 8th seed. I think we kind of starting to see that already here.
Yeah, all right, absolutely. Some good stuff there. All right, Steve, let's jump into the slate. 3 games. This should go rather quickly. Like I said, I really only think one game would be worth maybe playing, maybe with some football stuff or some basketball stuff. But we'll start here with the Panthers traveling to Philly to take on the Flyers. Your over-under is 5.5 tonight for this game. The Panthers are -1.5 on the puck line at +136, -185 on the money line. Flyers +154. Let's see here. Your goaltending matchup for the evening is going to be I only see Samuel Ersson. So the other goalie to be decided. Even with that being said, Steve, I mean, this is maybe to me the Panthers 60-minute line, something that we talk a lot about at -110. That's kind of where I gravitate to in a game that's just not all that exciting to me.
You did it,
the Flyers in the basement.
It's already full.
You never know what you're going to get out of them either.
Okay, yeah. I won't go anywhere yet. I'm just going to door down.
Panthers, definitely the better team here.
Maybe I'll give it a tester. Okay, thank you. That's awesome.
We'll go with that, Steve. Florida Panthers 60-minute line for me. What do you make of this one?
Now, Philadelphia here has somehow slid all the way to the bottom of the Metro. I feel like a few weeks ago we were talking about how good they were doing, but now they're in last place here.
And
they give up a ton of goals. They've given up 151 goals, which is a lot as compared to these other teams. And a -19, I guess that just says it all. They're dead over team in that respect. Florida not playing exactly super hot, 5-5 in their last 10. They can score. Florida is the better team here. So, yeah, if you want to take the Panthers on a 60-minute line, I think that's fine.
All right. Next game up, the Calgary Flames taking on Chicago. This one is in Chicago. Your over-under here, where I looked, all 3 of these games were at 5.5. This game has moved up to 6.5 now. -1.5 on the puck line for the Flames is at +154. -162 on the money line for the Flames, +136 on the money line for the Blackhawks. Goaltending matchup this evening for this one is going to be Peter Mrazek for the Blackhawks and Dustin Wolf there for Calgary. This one, Steve, I don't know. You would think that Calgary at the end of the day is the better team, and I believe they are. But in a spot like this, I've seen the Blackhawks blow something up that you've had a ticket working, and they just kind of come out of nowhere on a random day.
Well, as recently as Saturday with Edmonton.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. Just that recently. You are Absolutely correct.
With that bad taste in my mouth, yeah, I think I'll avoid this. The Flames are winners of 2 in a row here. 5-3-2 in their last 10. So they're not playing their worst hockey. Again, they're one of these teams that can find themselves here in the playoffs still at the end of the day. Really, their only competition for that last spot is going to be Vancouver, St. Louis, Utah, and they're right nip and tuck with Vancouver, just 1 point behind them, ahead of the others that we just mentioned. So they are the better team here. 6-8-4 on the road, so at least they're grabbing points on the road. More of a defensive type team. Calgary, they've just scored 110, allowed just 123. So in comparison to all these other teams, that is a dead under type of team. The Blackhawks, they give up as many goals as anyone else. That continues to be an issue for them. A minus 36-point differential. I think if you wanted to take Calgary here on the game line or the 60-minute line.
And they don't score well, Steve.
Yeah, they don't score well. So I think it's worth Calgary. A look at Calgary, even the under 6.5 sounds like it's too much in this game. So either an under or take the favorite Flames here, I think would be the call.
Yeah, I like their 60-minute number as well. And I do like the under. My bold bet for this one would be correct score 3-2 Flames. So,
okay. All right.
Come on, man. All right, we're going to the third game. And it just keeps on doing this.
I'm having computer issues
LA
today,
Kings.
so I think it's across the board, Dave.
Yeah, it's every game I touch, it pops up these 2 goal scores. I'm like, I don't want to take these guys. Stop doing that. So the best game of the night in my eyes is going to be this one here, and that's the LA Kings traveling to Edmonton to take on the Oilers. Heavyweights here in the West Pacific Conference. Minus 1.5 for the Oilers on the puck line is at plus 124. Your over-under here is, again, at 5.5. Plus 170 for the Kings on the money line. Minus 205 for the Oilers. Let's take a look at the goaltending matchup here, because, that could always make a case for some things that you want to do here in this game. Darcy Kemper, who's actually been playing pretty well for the Kings, much, much different than he did when he was with our Caps. He's facing off Stuart Skinner tonight. So if that's the case here, Steve, I'm going to tell you what, I think I would give the LA Kings a shot here on the money line at plus 170. I could just see them winning this type of grinded out game, which is really kind of a Western Conference style of play anyway. And I think these two teams set up nice for it. Now, I did read it is Connor McDavid's birthday, I believe. So I think I would definitely take him for some points or a goal tonight, maybe even 2. But at the end of the day, Steve, I think I like the Kings in this one. What do you think?
I mean, Edmonton, again, I just mentioned it, left me with a bad taste in my mouth, losing in Chicago the other night. I don't see why there's any way in the world that they should be a favorite minus 205 over a team that is trailing them by only 2 points in the standings, but has still played less than the 2 games than the Oilers have. So chances are they would make up those points and be about equal. You said it, Kemper's been fantastic for the Kings. I just like what the Kings have going here. And I think they're absolutely worth a shot in this game tonight. So give me the Kings and give me the Kings on the 60-minute line at plus 260. If I'm looking at this and I'm parlaying the Kings, Flames, and Panthers all on the 60-minute 3-way to win in regulation, which, is doable. I'm getting a nice little 12-1 payout. So I'll take a shot at that. $15 will win.
All right, yeah.
183. That's my hockey bet for the evening.
There you go. I like that one, Steve. All right, that is going to finish up the slate for tonight. So how about we throw somebody in the penalty box and then we pick a goal scorer?
Yep, we'll go ahead and cue up the referees.
And you're trying to switch 7 guys. Mike, come on.
You can't do that. Dallas Pelly number 10, 2 minutes for opening.
I got 82. Tampa, tripping.
All right, Steve. I think for me, the penalty box candidate, if we're picking a team that's playing tonight, there's really just 2 good choices here. And I think I'm just going to stick with the Blackhawks here. You mentioned how they give up goals at a pretty rapid pace. Problem is they don't score many either, so that makes that differential pretty bad there in Chicago. And for a team rebuilding, they're really just kind of going through it. So give me the Blackhawks for the penalty box.
I'll go ahead and throw the Flyers in there now that they're in last place. They'll be on the road tomorrow night at Columbus. I have my Blue Jackets, and I don't think things will go well for them. Columbus is a team that can score a lot of goals. Philadelphia gives up a lot of goals. Even just looking at the games ahead of tomorrow, I got a nice cheap number, minus 118 or minus 1.5 plus 200 on Columbus. So that will be something I'll be looking at for tomorrow.
All right. Let's get to our goal scoring segment. All right, Steve, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go with the team from Florida. I'm going to go with the Panthers. And give me a Evan Rodriguez goal tonight at plus 370.
I'll try to give you one from each game here. See if we can mix another little parlay together. I'll give you Jonathan Huberdeau for the Flames.
All right.
Plus 190. I will keep it somewhat simple again here with the Florida Panthers. And go ahead and give me man, I almost want to take a long shot on Forsling, but he just never scores. So go ahead and give me in this Florida game Carter Verhaeghe.
I like that.
And then
I like that a lot.
And then in the Kings game, I will go ahead and give you. Well, you said it's McDavid's birthday, Dave.
Yep. So go ahead and give him one.
Yeah, I gave him one too. All right, so I'll take. I'll put $10 on Huberdeau, Verhaeghe, and McDavid, and $10 what pays $234 on that tonight.
Yeah, I can't be mad at that, Steve. All right, do you want to touch on the games tomorrow quickly?
Yeah, sure.
All right, since we don't have any goaltender matchups or anything like that, we'll just kind of run down it. The Ducks are visiting the Capitals. Over-under is 5.5. What do you think there?
I feel like the Caps have been playing a lot, right? This will be the 3rd game in 4 days for them. Is that correct?
Yeah, they're on one of them stretches.
So proceed with caution, but they're more talented than Anaheim at the end of the day. We know that. So
Right. All right, Tampa is going to Boston to take on the Bruins. I like Tampa in this one myself. What do you think, Steve?
I would lean on Tampa on that game. Yes, Bruins are struggling.
All right. Now the Dallas Stars, they're taking on Toronto tomorrow. This one is in Toronto. You know what, Steve? I'm going to go with the Stars in this one. They're plus 100 on the money line. What do you think?
This is a good game. Toronto shut out at home the other night. Not to my liking at all. The Dallas has been playing strong. Give me the slight upset with the Stars here.
All right. The Sharks are taking on Detroit. That one's in Detroit. Give me Detroit to really put it on them here.
Yeah, they're red hot. They're playing San Jose. Keep the streak going. Let's get 8 in a row.
All right, here's a game that maybe we could light up, Steve. We'll probably both play this one. Columbus is at home, and they're taking on the Flyers, who play tonight. That's a back-to-back situation. Give me anything you want here with Columbus. Puck line, team goals, you kind of name it, but I think we can kind of tee off on the Flyers in that one.
Yeah, I've been having fun with this Columbus Blue Jacket team, even watching some of their games. I'll lay the puck and a half at 2-1. I'll go ahead and parlay that with Detroit -1.5 at +120, and we'll get a nice +555 payout on that.
All right, I love it. The Kraken are taking on the Penguins. That one's in Pittsburgh. Give me the Penguins. I think they're the better team at the end of the day.
Let's see here. The Penguins, man, what a team that is very unreliable, but yes, better than Seattle for sure.
All right, Ottawa is taking on, that is the Ottawa Senators taking on the New York Islanders in New York. I still like the Senators in this game, +102 on the money line. Give me the Senators.
I'll pass.
All right. Panthers, they're playing a back-to-back, and this is not a good situation for them. They're in New Jersey to play the Devils. Give me the Devils there.
I'll go to flip side and take the Panthers. The Devils not playing their crispest of hockey here in recent weeks. So go ahead and give me Florida again.
All right. Here's a good situation for Vegas. They're taking on the Nashville Predators in Nashville. Give me I'll tell you what, give me a puck line for them because it seems like they are just slightly favored over Nashville at home. So give me Vegas in this one, Steve.
This is a coin flip type of game. I'll go with Vegas in this one as well.
All right. The Flames playing a back-to-back as well. So it looks like 3 of those teams playing tonight are on a back-to-back. They're taking on the Blues. I tell you what, I'm going to pass on that one.
I'll pass to probably a good spot for St. Louis, I would think.
All right. Vancouver is taking on Winnipeg. I like Winnipeg at home in this situation, so give me Winnipeg.
I'll agree with that. The Jets get it done. Canucks competitive. This could be your 3-2 type of game.
Understood. All right, the Montreal Canadiens taking on the Utah Hockey Club. I think the Canadiens get it done. They're +140 on the money line, but at the end of the day, I'm going to stay away.
This could be a sneaky over type of game. Utah plays well at home. Montreal has been scoring a little bit more here. So 5.5 is cheap enough if you want to take a late night stab at it. There you go. Over 5.5, Canadiens and Utah.
Excellent. All right, and to finish things off for the evening, and then we'll get on out of here, the New York Rangers taking on the Colorado Avalanche. This one's in Colorado. I like Colorado in this spot, -1.5, +136. I think I would give that a chance. I think just the way the Rangers are going, I like Colorado a little bit more here.
I believe I'll pass on this one as well.
All right, so that's a pass there from Steve.
Well, Dave, if I take 3 teams tomorrow, -1.5, all home teams with Washington, Columbus, and Detroit, we're now getting a little over 12-1 on our payout.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. I mean, that's the way things hopefully should swing anyway. All right, that looks like it's going to do us for the night here with the NHL coverage. Steve, you got any programming notes before we go?
We'll bring back Sizzle Lean this week. I believe Karen's over to flu, so we'll be back in business with that 12:30 Wednesday, and then we'll do the round robin NFL divisional round weekend. We'll do Saturday for the 2 games, and we'll do the Sunday show for 2 games as well. Airing 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday, and I think we'll probably do 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday as well to kick things off, since we had the later kickoff that day as well.
Right. Yeah. Push it back a little bit.
Yep.
All right. Well, as always, we thank you for tuning in. This is What the Puck is Going On. And everybody, good luck and have a good evening.